Alright guys, welcome back to this new video. I have a Mimighoul Dogmatika list from boot. Shout out to the guy giving us the deck list, also some replays that we are going to take a look at in a second here. He's also linked in the description below. So we are playing the Dogmatika engine together with the Mimighoul engine. Obviously you can also combine this with Fiendsmith, with Kashtira. You could play it pure, you can play it with some Banishment, Floodgates, Dimensional Fissure comes to mind, Dimensional Shifter. But this one is the Dogmatika version. I think the Fiendsmith version might be the strongest one, but for this we are playing triple Mimighoul Dragon. We are playing 3 Mimighoul Archfiend, 1 Armor and 1 Fairy as our extenders. Then the Slime, which is nice in some combos but can also be kind of a brick. We have 2 Maxis, obviously the Ash Blossoms. We are playing 2 Dogmatika Ecclesia, 1 Cartesia, because we actually can fusion summon for some of these exotic monsters. We have the 1 Mimighoul Master, a Magnamoot, a Druisworm, which are cards that you don't need to play, but the Magnamoot is also nice because this can get us access to our Mimighoul Dragon, which is a dragon, but you don't need to play the Druisworm. But I think it makes sense to have them both together, since if you don't need the dragon, you have another target. Then we have Dogmatika Fleur-de-Lis, our monster negate, then the Dogmatika Albazoa, ripping the opponent's extra deck. And obviously the Mimighoul engine is all about control, and the Dogmatika engine can help with that. Ripping the opponent's extra deck will give you the win over the long term. We are playing triple Nadir Servant, that's for sure, then 1 Talents and 2 Thrusts. You could bump up the Thrust, but I like 2 Thrusts because you don't want to draw more than 1 in a hand, so that's kind of nice. We can obviously activate them by using our Mimighoul stuff. Then triple Mimighoul Maker, one of our best cards. Mimighoul Dungeon, probably the best card of the Mimighoul engine. Then 1 Dogmatika Calamity, triple Dogmatika Matrix, 2 Godby, 3 Imperm, 1 Punishment to Search, and then 1 Room. We are playing 2 Entes, and a lot of these cards obviously for sending them away. Entes, Garura, then 1 Titaniclad and Grungignol, all of them for sending away. Then we have Herald of the Arclight for send away, the Golden Cloud Beast Malong to bounce for sending away, and Despian Lulu Walilith, which you can also summon. Then we have number 13, Embodiment, where we can change all monsters our opponent controls to face up attack position, so we can basically trigger the Mimighoul effects if we want. 2 Mimighoul Giants, 1 Mimighoul Throne to get the Master, and then 1 Linkuriboh and 1 SP Little Knight. So let's see what this deck can do in some replays. So once again, we are going first here, another hand where we have our Dogmatika stuff and our Mimighoul stuff. Once again, we have Hard Door Dungeon. This is very nice. There goes the Fuvalos, which we can kind of play around, I guess. To some extent, we are going to search, obviously getting Ash Blossom here. I think this is okay. We also have the Thrust. Once again, also have the Maker, but the Maker would definitely draw them 1 card because of the Fuvalos, because we are summoning on our side. At least this should be the case. This adds to hand. Yeah, that's right. And they're also drawing because we have summoned on their side, because we have done the summoning. That makes sense. Dragon goes to search the Mimighoul Room, and this is the very cool thing about this deck. This is one of the best elements in my opinion, having the ability to just activate triple Tactics Talents on their turn if they have activated a monster effect. Obviously we could also flip this, but we don't even have to flip it because our opponent has already activated. We are going to search Dogmatika Matrix here, and then getting Max Seed even further. At this point we're activating the Matrix to add Dogmatika Calamity and also Dogmatika Punishment. Are going to use triple Tactic Talents to look at the opponent's hand. We are going to see, there's Engraver, there's Punk stuff, but we still have the Fiendsmith engine live there that we can already counter with our Dogmatika Punishment. So you can see that this engine really nicely complements the Mimighoul engine in what the Mimighoul engine basically wants to do. We are going first against Punk, and we are going to open once again with our dungeon here. We unfortunately have the armor, which is not the best one. We are going to add the dragon once again, and dragon is going to add the Maker, Mimighoul Maker, going to activate the Maker, and here comes the Maxi again. Once again, we have our Thrust live. The games look kind of the same, as you can see that the list is quite consistent. We are going to summon Archfiend to the opponent's field and then grab the Fairy to our hand as an extender that we can summon from the hand, summon the Armor, activate the Thrust, getting Ash Blossom here. This is a bit sad. Obviously a Talents would have been very nice. Looking at the hand is always very strong. And next we are going to go overlay into a giant Mimighoul. This will obviously net them a draw, but we can now add the Room. And now we are going to special summon our Dogmatika Ecclesia and add Dogmatika Punishment. We also have the Bestial Magnamut still in hand, having the room, having the punishment, and also our Bestial Magnamut to survive the turn. He flips, gives us a draw, needs to discard one, and starts with Z Armin. Very strong start here, getting the Deer Note. Next, we are activating Ogre Dance, and we are discarding the Dance and the Trap card to summon, but we have the Bestial Magnamut here, very strong, keeping him off a level 11 Synchro, basically. Going to activate our Magnamut while they are adding another Z Armin. That's fine. And then they're going to use the new one, can banish one, special summon this, and then you can also add one that is not level 8. We are going to add the Fusion guy, and then there is a Rising Carp. We know him, we love him. And now we are going to activate a Mimighoul room. We are going to set the dragon to their field, and then we flip the Rising Carp. Very important combo piece here, so it's very nice. They now have this basically time-ticking bomb on their field, which also means that they cannot normal summon, which they already have, but also the special summon monsters cannot attack, and we have flipped down a very important play of theirs. The Mimighoul room is most likely more important for the flipping down effect than the summoning effect, but obviously the summoning effect will also be nice in a moment here. We can use Maker now, and here's a very good play, flipping up the dragon, and dragon destroys the entire field but the face down card, and this is where we win the game by using our Mimighoul effect. And in the last replay, let's see what we can do. Going second here, we have only an Ash Blossom. Hopefully this is enough. There comes Kashtira Ogre. Normally you don't really want to stop this. It's not super important. They're going to set 4. This looks bad for us. And pass over the turn. Activating Kashtira Preparations. Also a Macrocosmos. The good thing is that this deck can play pretty nicely under Floodgates, because we don't really need our monsters in the graveyard. And if we go for an XYZ summon and we detach from the XYZ, this is not considered leaving the field into banishment, but these monsters will go to the graveyard. We are going to add the Mimighoul Maker, and they are going to reveal our deck, hitting the one of Mimighoul Room. Most likely this one will be removed. They remove another Maker, also fine, I guess. We are revealing Slime and the Archfiend. They get the Slime, that's nice. Exactly what we wanted, so that we can get the Archfiend, summon the Archfiend, and flip up the Slime. But no, there's a Super Pulley that will fuse away these level 1 bodies here. This is a bit unfortunate for us, but we have once again access to our Nadir Servant engine. No, they can only flip or get rid of, because this is an Earth Realm, right? We have our Fairy Extender, which is nice. Now we can go Lingoribo, and we can go into an SP Little Knight to remove, I would say most likely, the Macrocosmos, yes. And then we are going to activate Nadir Servant. Obviously, to use the Nadir Servant, you need this Macrocosmos gone, otherwise all of this stuff doesn't work. The Entis destroys another Floodgate, and we can special summon Ecclesia, grabbing once again Dogmatika Matrix, and this one will add our Ritual monster as well as the Ritual spell that we are going to use right here, sending away Despian Lulu Lilith for Albazor. This is obviously super nice, ripping our opponent's extra deck, and our opponent scoops the game, so we have won this time around with our Dogmatika engine. And so you can see how these two engines go together great in this deck. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. Hope you liked the video. Alright, let's take a look at the first one. We are playing again a branded Despia deck that you will probably see often here, and we are going first. We have the Matrix and the Mimighoul dungeon, as well as the Thrust, which is actually nice, activating the dungeon to search one of our Mimighoul cards, but we get Ash Blossomed here. Tough call, should be called by, shouldn't be called by, because we would also activate or deactivate our own Ash Blossom. We don't use the call by, go for the Triple Tactics Thrust to go for a room that we obviously can activate on our opponent's turn, set the call by and pass over, keeping our Ash Blossom live here. Then it's going Guiding Quem, sending a Blazing Cartesia, and then it's the basic Luba play. Fortunately, we have the Ash here, obviously. The call by is also very nice against Branded. There's the Saronir searching, but most likely we won't use the called by here, going for Bestial Lubelion and adding obviously the Branded Fusion. And now let's see, Branded Fusion, here it goes. We are going Ash Blossom. And obviously we will most likely use the Mimighoul room to gain some advantage further on in this turn by using it in the end phase. Okay, I was expecting this, but we wait until our turn. Then we go dungeon again, and this is the nice thing about dungeon. We can use dungeon every turn, searching us a Mimighoul monster, searching us another starter. One of the best ones being the dragon, obviously, because this can get us to Maker. So a dragon comes. And by the way, I'm misremembering the room. I was under the impression this would special summon to our field and the opponent's one. We get the Maker, then activate Maker, and we search Slime and the Mimighoul Archfiend. We wanted the Archfiend. Unfortunately, we are getting the Slime. This is a bit suboptimal, but we summon the Slime here. Our opponent knows what's coming next, which would be a rank 1 XYZ. Uses the Super Poly to keep us off that basically, and can now resummon Cartesia. Here we use the Colpie. I think this is very wise. Keeping our opponent off the fusion summons here makes sense. And we have an Archfiend on our opponent's field right now. Keep in mind that now there is the lock live from the Mimighoul dungeon. Any player who controls a face monster cannot normal summon or declare an attack with monsters that were special summoned this turn. We use the room now, and he's going to call Earth with his Muttering of the Swamp. Not very impactful, summoning another Archfiend, and then we can flip down the own Archfiend, and we will also draw a card. Now we have 2 level 1s. This means we can get Throne to summon the Master, and then Master can obviously also search. In this case, we are searching another dragon here, putting it down on the opponent's field so that we can flip it with the Master. This is obviously nice because getting rid of the Guiding Quam is very important. We also have the Muttering here. And then we go Dogmatika Matrix because we have obviously also drawn the Albazoa, and our opponent scoops the game. So with this Mimighoul variant, also with the Dogmatika variant, but also with the pure variant or the Fiend's variant, it's all about controlling the game, and let's see what is also possible.